Hey guys, uh, I've been wanting to do YouTube videos for a while, so I figured I'd start with like an introductory video, kind of explaining who I am, how I got to where I am today, maybe some mistakes I've made. Try not to go too long on my first video, but anyways, um, very nerdy shirt here. Um, for those of you who know, this is a Linux command. Means delete everything, something you should never run on anything you care about. But anyway, my name's James. I'm an IT guy. Um, and yeah, I guess I'll just kind of start with who I am and, how I got to be an IT guy and whatnot. I've always been technically inclined. I started off doing A plus classes in high school, and then I went on to do CCNA and CCNP classes in college. Um, and then life kind of took a turn. So unfortunately, I was forced to get a job, and unfortunately, not in the field that I was studying for. I wanted to make sure that I had my certifications to be able to get the job I was looking for because I was straight out of college, and that just didn't happen. So I had to get a job, and I ended up landing some um, entry level position at a post production company, actually, of which I happen to know the owner. And that's kind of where I started. I started off as a tape labeler. I labeled Betacam, digital Betacams, HD Cam, HD Cam SRs. These are like broadcast spec videotapes, along with VHSs and DVDs at times, but mainly the digibetas and whatnot were the main thing I labeled. Um, uh, After that, I was trying to branch out and learn different things. One of the ideas is I would become a QA, a quality assurance guy, that basically I would just watch all the beta cams and stuff after they were dubbed so that, we could look for imperfections and hopefully catch those before they go out. Another thing I was looking at was becoming a media services encoder, and I just kind of fell into doing client services, what was called the scheduler. So I would get an order, I would place the order, make sure the order was done, got followed through and all that. Now you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with IT? How are you an IT guy? Well, while I was a scheduler, the IT department came across a need for additional help, and that was when they were migrating Domino mail server to Exchange, and they needed some additional help because they had hundreds of people to do this for. So they posted things around the office, and I said, hey, yeah, I'll help out with that, get my foot in the door kind of thing. And yeah, so I did that. I helped out, spent a number of hours every day migrating mailboxes, showing people where to find their their new mail, their old mail, all that stuff. And then that kind of went quiet for a while, went back to scheduling. And unfortunately, this scheduling job was not an easy one. It was not, take the order, make the work order, send it off to billing. All of my clients were credit card clients, so I basically had to chase every single one of my clients, of which I had about 30 per month, between 20 and 40 actually. So 30 is kind of the middle ground there. And I had to chase them for payment every month, and that was, first of all, difficult because of the sheer number of clients, and then second of all, it was stressful because the timetable was quick. We needed to get these things out the door quickly, and we were just kind of sending these things without getting payment, which is crazy. But we were trying to help out our clients and whatnot, and meet the deadlines. And eventually, that came to an end because we were basically giving away free stuff at a certain point, and I think we eventually got payment for most of that, but it was still rough, and it was still difficult having to chase so many different clients every single month for payment. So anyways, that led to me being really stressed all day, every day. And then finally, a position opened up at that company for a desktop support technician. So I applied for it. I was like, hey, yeah, I helped out with the email migration, yada yada yada, and they agreed to bring me on, provisionally, basically, just to see how I would do, because I never actually got certified in CCNA and CCNP or any of that. I never got my A+ certification, unfortunately. I wish I had, but it never happened. So I had nothing to show that I actually kind of knew what I was talking about when it came to computers, tech stuff, hardware and software repair, that kind of thing. But they took me on graciously. They said, you know what, we'll give you a shot. We'll give you a month to feel the waters and see how you do. 2 weeks into it, obviously because I had done all that stuff, admittedly without proof, 2 weeks in, he was like, "Okay, dude, you're fine. You know what you're talking about." And that's how I got my start in IT. And from there, I basically just grew. I tried to learn everything I could, make everything as good as I can. When I was there, they were doing Windows imaging, where they installed all the software onto a machine and all the drivers for that particular motherboard and all that set up, and then they would image it. And then so every single type of motherboard or every different machine, you had to have an image for it. And if you wanted to update that image, you had to install the software, install the updates, do all that stuff again. And it was a nightmare. I fixed all that, used sysprep for those of you who are technically minded, especially when Windows 7 came out. Started sysprepping, building in all the drivers beforehand, because we didn't have a huge spread of machines. I could do that and just deploy the image and it would work. So anyways, from there, I started just learning as much as I could, started implementing different things. I eventually started to take over supporting some of the servers, particularly the help desk server that they were running. I, managed doing upgrades on the help desk software, Windows updates, that kind of thing. A few other systems I would help out with. I had read-only access to a lot of things, so I could help troubleshoot things like Exchange and whatnot. And I was just trying to be helpful, and it really benefited me because I ended up scoring another job at another company, a media marketing company, and I became basically the head of IT, because I knew how to do server support, desktop support, and I had a background in networking, and I just took all those things and used that to create what my company is today. I basically built their infrastructure from the ground up. When I went in, they were literally a bunch of switches with a bunch of computers connected to it and little 1 gig links between each of the switches, and that was it. I'm not going to go into any more detail than that, but pretty basic setup. And now we have a full-fledged professional Active Directory, VLAN, all that infrastructure, which is amazing. Now, I didn't do it all on my own, obviously. We brought in some help for them, just to rack and stack, that kind of thing, and do the initial configuration of the switches and whatnot. But since then, I've had a lot of time to play in the switches, which has been fun, create new VLANs, just get certain things going, and it's cool being able to do that. And so, yeah, that's basically who I am, where I came from, without going into too grave a detail. So I guess my plan with this channel is to just kind of talk about things that bother me. It's probably, this particular channel is going to be a rant channel, mainly. Things off the top of my head that I'll start discussing Intel versus AMD, what happened there, why AMD is doing so good, my personal opinions. Please note that everything on this channel is all personal opinions. Nothing that I say is anything more than that than my opinion. I just kind of just want to talk about stuff. Another thing that came up today was the new Ubiquity, their whole proprietary power redundancy solution. Instead of using the standard slide-in power supplies, they've created this whole new system, and that's something I want to talk about. I'm sure I'll talk about Tesla at some point. Apple, I'm absolutely sure I'll talk about. The new Mac, especially with the new Mac Pro coming out, or having come out rather. But anyway, my name's James once again, and hopefully you guys like the content I put on this channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. The other button works too. Subscribe, ring the bell to get notifications of any new content I upload. And obviously I'm a little nervous. It's my first video, so take it easy on me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.